I'm your host Matthew, and of course on this channel we take a look at darts and darts materials and other items that you, our subscribers, ask us to review. But on this particular show, Coffee and Darts, we drink some coffee and we throw some darts, which I have right here, and we hang out and we talk about darts. But before we get started, or before you jump in, or however you want to word that, would you please subscribe? I think right now I'm 4 away from hitting 2,000. I don't typically do the subscribe beg, but I'm going to right now. If you haven't subscribed and you happen to catch this live or on the replay, just maybe subscribe. That would be really awesome. Would like to get to 2,500. That's kind of my next real big goal. A big goal. You know, I would love to be talking darts with 40, 50,000 subscribers. That would be awesome, but that's long-term goal. For right now, let's just get to 2,000. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing. Okay, so we're done with the subscribe beg. Hey, Karen, did I say that right? Karen. Hi. Let's throw darts, man. And we're gonna drink some coffee. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. Do a little camera adjustment here. Oh, I'm caught on something. Oh, hopefully that's a little better. Ooh. Hey, hopefully everybody's having a good morning this morning. I have a topic for us to kind of discuss, which is, we talked last time about how I got into darts and how some others got into darts. It's like, but why about darts? What is it about darts? Well, that was way off. I'm going to the left. Now to the right. Okay. What is it about darts? Like, I was thinking about this, talking with a buddy of mine. There we go, that should be better. I was talking with a buddy of mine about, like, dart. We were talking about sports and, like, why we like certain sports, because there's things he likes that I don't dislike, but I'm not a big fan. What is it about certain, like, I like football, but I played football in high school, and I attempted to play football in college. But what is it about this sport that attracts so many folks to it, from so many genres and so many, the age groupings, and it's just, what is it about this over, say, like Formula One, which I have gotten sucked into because there was a TV show that showed it, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to a Formula One race. But that's not something that most people are going to be into. Well, there's a lot of people, you know what I mean. There's baseball fans, there's football fans, there's basketball. I don't do a lot of basketball. I'm not a huge, I am a fan of the sport, but I'm not a diehard fan where I gotta watch it. Darts, if it's on, it's on some screen in our house. Football, same thing. But why is the question today. Why am I throwing so bad too? I actually had a really good day yesterday. So I guess my hypothesis, or my reasoning for it, by the way, hopefully you got some coffee. Part of it, I think, is ease of access for people to get the materials to play darts. It's not extremely hard to get them, especially these days. It's just a matter of, you can get a cheapy setup for minimal cost these days. And to be honest, when you first start out, what do you need to drop a bunch of money on a 90% tungsten barrel for anyway? So Eric grew up around some bars, and his dad would take him to play. It's easier to get into it a lot cheaper than pool. So true. Pool, people don't understand, pool can super get expensive. We went through an era for about 4 months, me and a bunch of friends right out of high school. There was a pool house that opened up, and so we would go. But man, we were dropping a ton of money. One on pool, cues. We had a couple cues because you had to have a couple cues. and then just paying per hour to play. It was amazing what we would. They had a special for the college kids, and it was, I'm trying to remember correctly, but I think it was like $20 at a certain time during the day, and it was just all day play from there on out. And we would literally be there for 6-7 hours. You know, we'd be there till 2 in the morning. I'm trying to remember what time they closed. Maybe it was 2. They're no longer there. They couldn't sustain their model. There weren't enough people that were willing to pay to play billiards. But anyway, so I think that's the cost barrier entry thing. By the way, since this is a coffee show as well, I wanted to bring this up. Keep looking at it. So this is what I put in my coffee. So another question is, what do you put in your coffee? Do you put anything in your coffee? I happen to put this stuff in my coffee in a faraway galaxy long time ago, when I used to go to the office. We had a small office, and someone brought that in, and I fell in love with it. But of course, I'm not sure who that person was anymore. I don't think I've seen them other than on a computer screen in months. But you remember back when you could actually go places and talk to people and see them? That's when I fell in love with that. Just curious what you put in your coffee. That's something I put in my coffee. But back to the original question, the love of darts, or what is it about this sport? I think that's part of it, is entry. It's not super cost effective to get into. But I think the other pieces to it is that it's so encompassing and including of everyone. I play in a league in San Diego. Well, okay, I play occasionally in a league in San Diego. I wish I really could be. I think with the way work is now, and that I'm going to be working from home, I'll actually be able to set aside that time for league. But we'll see if we ever get. Anyway, I play in this, and it's so neat to see the difference in people that play, and of course the varying levels of skill. And right now I'm showing my bad skills, but we have some players. There's a gentleman, J.D. Newman, who's arguably one of the best players in the U.S. I think if he was able to really dedicate himself to this sport, in that, say, 100% of the time type of thing, if he wanted that and dedicated himself to it, he would certainly be in the top ranked players in our country. And he's humble. He's fun. I remember the first time I came. This might be one of the major reasons that darts is so awesome. The first time I showed up, it was on a Saturday. I had been saying, hey, I want to join this league. They asked me to come play in a qualifying tournament just to see how I play. And I promise you I played better than that. Just to kind of get an average and to be able to place me somewhere, because we've got multiple ranking areas based on your averages. And I had played him, of course, in this round robin piece. And he was so humble and like, hey, we're so happy to have you. Just his demeanor and attitude about the game and about people being in the game was, it was inviting. And I think that's a big piece of it, is this sport, and it is a sport, I don't care what anybody says, is super, super inviting of everybody. Even when you throw that bad. I don't know what it is this morning. Churchill's in San Marcos. Yes, my brother, Victor. What's up? High five. Oh, man. I can't wait until you and I can, like, sit down and have a beer. Oh, I do miss those. So Victor used to live close to me, and he moved to L.A., and now we're not near each other. And we used to hang out. For a while there, we were doing weekly get-togethers and have beers and just enjoy the chats. Do miss those, man. I miss those. Nothing's like having an actual human being in front of you to talk. But I just remember that Saturday, how everybody was super nice about it and helpful. Like, I hadn't been in that position before. Like, I had done some stuff with friends, but I had not actually, it was the first time I was going to a league situation. It was my first time dealing with, adding up other people's scores and, making sure my score, and just that whole situation. And it was fun, but I'll say it was kind of scary at first because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if people would be, I don't know, they would put up a wall and be like, oh, who's the new guy? But it wasn't like that at all. And it made it fun. It made it enjoyable. And then when I started playing League, started meeting everybody else that's in the league, everybody was just super friendly and nice, and very helpful. There were a number of people that gave me some really great tips on how to play the sport, and that's, again, some of the things awesome about this sport is we don't mind helping each other, because I'm not necessarily playing you. I am to a degree, because I do want to get in your head a little bit, but I'm playing myself and the board. Kind of like golf, where you're really playing that track, that whatever you're playing, you're really playing your mental mindset in the board and making sure that you're throwing where you want to throw. Not so much your opponent, unless they can get under your skin, and we're not going to talk about anybody like Gerwin, who has a propensity to get under everybody's skin, and that's one of his superpowers. But it's definitely one of the things I love about this sport. And it would be interesting to see football if everybody was loving. What would the Raiders do? Become the Raiderettes? I don't know. Sorry, I got to pick on the Raiders. I'm a Chiefs fan. But yeah, it's just, I just think back of that time, that Saturday, and then going to first tournament. You got to score. But people are humble. People have a lot of grace in this sport. And part of it is this sport will knock you down super quick. I haven't had official dartsitis ever, but I have met a couple of people that have, well, at least they claim to have dartsitis. They didn't have it when I was watching them. But they get the fear in their eye. Was like, you start talking about dartsitis and they kind of start telling you what it was like, and you could see the memories come back, and it was almost like the 1,000-mile stare, which totally not, because that's really a military thing, and they don't compare in any way, shape, or form. But you could see in their face this, it's like, oh my gosh, if I talk about it, it's gonna happen again, and it was quite interesting. So I don't know where I was going with that one, but again, it's just that attitude that everybody's willing to help. Like, I get advice just from this show, doing this. But I guess my question to everybody else is, again, what is it about the sport? What draws you in? What makes you want to watch this? What makes you want to be a part of this? Other sports, I understand, like football. I have a huge connection with football because I played it. I understand the sport. I played it as a kid. And maybe that's it, playing darts. Like my son, he loves darts, and he plays it now, and he watches it, and he understands it. And I just purchased some dart barrels that he's going to love, because I'm going to do some reviews on them. I hadn't done a lot on the Unicorn brand, and of course Michael Smith Unicorn. So I got him a set of soft tip barrels, because he plays on the soft tip. But I got those for him. And they're in the mail, and I think he's going to be super stoked. That's really his favorite darts player, even though he'll say Peter Wright, but I know secretly Michael Smith is just above Snakebite. I know it. But even my 6-year-old, has an affection for the sport, and part of it again is going to be because he and I play. We connect playing the sport. So maybe it's that this really brings connection. Where other sports, there's connection within your tribe. Like Chiefs fans, we can get together and just talk. Like I could never have met you before. If I know you're a Chiefs fan, conversation on. 2 doors down, we have some people, they hung their flag. I was like, Chiefs fan, yeah. And we've had we hadn't talked prior to that. Like, and they have a little kid that, you know, and like, but all of a sudden, conversation. He comes by, walking in the afternoon, so I got my garage door open. It's conversation on because we're Chiefs fans, and that's really it. I don't even remember his name. I don't even think I know his name. I don't think he's ever told me his name. No clue. My wife might know, but I have no clue. But we're Chiefs fans, so we connect. We're in a tribe. If he was a Raiders fan, I would just be making fun of him. He's a Charger fan, probably would just, probably spit because they can't swim. But that's a joke. But that's the difference when it comes to sports like that. Like, I'm a Padres fan. So, Phil, if you're watching this, you're a Giants fan. You know, that draws a line in the sand for us on some things. But in darts, even though you might like a particular player over one other player, it doesn't draw a line of separation within the tribe of darts. Doesn't matter. Unless you're a Gerwin Price fan, of the last couple of years, that has kind of started to draw that line. But even not really. So oh my gosh. I think the world needs to take a hint from darts and learn to work together. I'm kind of, hey, Ticketmaster. Dude, like, is this the real Ticketmaster, or is that just... Okay, Ticketmaster, I gotta ask. So, like, if you've got a YouTube channel, could you just drop a couple lines as to what you do? Unless you happen to be from another country, and that's just a cool name that you picked, Ticketmaster here would be tickets. I don't even think they're functional anymore because no one can buy tickets to go to anything anymore. But, like, I would buy tickets through Ticketmaster to go to a concert or to a darting event, potentially. So anyway, hi Ticketmaster. Thanks for hanging out. I think there's 2 ways that darts can help the world. First, well, I'm going to go with the joke version first. I think we could just put policies on a dartboard. Here's how we get Americans to be the best in darts. We'll put political policies and things that you want on a dartboard, and you have to throw a dart at them. And whatever you hit, that becomes reality. I bet we get good then. Just saying. But I think the world could take a lesson from darts and what I'm talking about right now as far as being all-inclusive in a brotherhood, a tribe, a pack, whatever you want to call it, in being different and yet accepting. Not always having the same thoughts on things, having differing opinions, and yet able to come together and spend time together and enjoy a pint together. America for sure can't do that, and the rest of the world is struggling greatly with the idea of being different and yet part of the same tribe. Darts doesn't happen that way. You know, you may be a lover of a particular manufacturer. I love shot darts. I like the ones too. I'm a big fan of shot darts, but I love some barrels from other manufacturers. Nothing wrong with that. And I know some players that fall in love with a particular manufacturer and style of barrel. Doesn't make them right, doesn't make them wrong. It's what they like. There are certain manufacturers that I'm not a huge fan of. I'll still review their product with an unbiased look. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not the one playing it. And I think, as a world, we should take a look at it the same way. Ooh. But that's what draws me to darts, is just the fun of the game, the challenge of trying to throw this little thing at that board and have it stick where I want it to. That's a lot of fun for me. There's a lot of pieces that you don't have a whole lot of control over in this throw that make it that much more fun. You know, what if gravity changed right there? You know, what if there was a gust of wind or something happened, or you know, what could change the flight of the dart that I don't have control over? There are a few things that come into play. But I have control over me to make the dart go where I want. And to me, that's just all those little pieces make this a fascinating sport for me. Bullseye. Missed. Why is it the third dart tends to go where you want it to? See, I think we should score this differently. The third dart should be what matters. The first two shouldn't. I think I would have much better scores. I don't know. Comedy, I don't know. Oh. So, how do you like your coffee? I, of course, put the super preferred creamer from Laird in there. If you're not familiar with Laird, he is a waterman, and he's a true waterman in the sense of what a waterman is. He does these water sports, you know, the surfing and paddleboard and all those fun things. That's if you look up a waterman, he's that. I think he does some big wave surfing as well. But he's married to Gabrielle Reese, who was a professional volleyball player, and I think they still live in Hawaii. Anyway, dude is super cool and ripped, and they make a really great product, which is the superfood creamer. So that's what I put in my coffee, all that said. It's interesting when you do this, like right now. Oh, jeez. And you've got to continue a conversation, but you're the only one here having the conversation. I do like the interaction when people chat, because that keeps me flowing, but not a whole lot of chat today. So I'm just rambling on, I guess, trying to keep it to some kind of normality, I guess. I don't know. While we're in it, let me just drop the whole, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I don't normally beg for things like that, but I'm super close to 2,000 subscribers. Would like to get to that and then to the 2,500. My goal right now is to get to 5,000, because once that happens, some other things open up on YouTube, like all the other fun things that you can do with your YouTube channel. So I'm really trying to get to that. But right now I got to get to 2,000. Oh, look, the little one has come to join us. Yes, little.
I didn't want just the dress. I wanted the shorts and the wig.
They didn't have them at the store, sweetheart, so I'm going to have to look for them online. But I saw that dress and I went, oh.
You already picked one.
Oh, did you find some online?
No, Mommy did.
Mommy did?
I already.
But I saw that dress and I said, that looks like Caitlin. It's bright and cute and pink, and so I got it for you. Love you. So, two things. One, you hear the rumbling in the background. That is the water. We have a 55-gallon drum of spring water that we get. Oh, man. Lobbed that. And so that's that noise in the background. And my wife and I talk every single time I do one of these live situations. Like literally before I came out here and hit the record button, I said, hey, get all the water you need because I'm going to spend the next 40, 45 minutes practicing and having coffee and darts. She's like, okay, and she filled up some stuff. And yet we still hear it. I think women, when they have toddlers, just forget everything. Like, it goes out the door. I can literally tell her, like, numbers that would give her $1 million. And 2 seconds later, she'd be like, what were we talking about? What were those numbers? And she's shoving off a kid off her leg. But anyway, and so the other thing was my daughter. My son has gotten some boxer shorts. They were purchased by his grandparents. He'd been wearing normal, kind of underoos type stuff up until then. The cool character, like he had Pokemon and Star Wars. And they bought him these boxer briefs that are Batman. And they're pretty cool looking. Well, he's been running around in those lately. And just those. Because they look cool. They kind of look like shorts, but they're underwear. And she wants a pair. And so I said I had to go to the store anyway. I said I'll look and see if they have a girly pair. I was actually surprised at how little of like boys' underwear, because he needed some more. How little they had at the store. That was weird. I mean, toilet paper I get, but underwear? Luckily I found some cool ones, but I couldn't find the pink ones. So I bought her a dress. And that was her happy about the dress, but questioning why I didn't come home with what specifically she wanted. But I got her a dress, so I got her something. So at least I'm not a total loser in her book right now. What's a number to throw? I keep throwing at certain numbers. Let's throw it to 10. Let's throw some double 10s. Oh. What's an iconic match that you could watch again? Like, what's something that you would, if it came on, you'd like stop and watch? I know that I can say there's a couple of them out there for sure. All right, let's make a call. Let's do this real quick. We're gonna make a call. Sorry, it has to be done. But I'm thinking of the Phil Taylor voltage. Oops. I just thought I'd call and just on the show we could have a conversation and a chat about excessive water usage through the...
I even poured a bunch of water into a different container so that I wouldn't do that, but I still forgot.
Well, you have toddlers. I get it. I understand. All right.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, I was like, what's the noise? It's my daughter with her animal that sings. What time is it too? Oh, okay, I got a little time. I have no idea what I was talking about before calling her. Oh. Totally lost. See, I have toddlers. I'm blaming on them. I'm totally blaming them. Oh. Yes, there's the water, Vic. But Victor knows, without a doubt, what I'm talking about there. So, I wish we could all, like all of us could just, like, hang out. Oh, favorite matches. That's what I was talking about. I would love to. I'd love to have a situation, and like Victor knows, because I've talked about this. I want to set up a coffee shop that has darts in it. And at nighttime, maybe we serve some other fun stuff. But that is like a huge fantasy goal of mine, is to have like a big, massive coffee store with dartboards, and it's coffee and darts. There's a premise to this show. Retirement will happen someday, and I'll blow my whole wad on setting up a coffee shop and dartboards. There's always an end game. And Victor will tell you, I'm always thinking down the road, trying to get to that. But favorite matches, that match between Voltage and Phil Taylor, the 2017 World Championships, pretty sure that was it. Just that whole year watching Phil was fun. And I saw an article, I wanted to bring this up now. Wayne Mardle, this is like 2 days ago, it was on YouTube. Which, by the way, there's so much better news on YouTube than the real news. But anyways, watching this, his commentary on, he was under the impression, or his opinion, is that Phil should retire after the match play. Which, of course, Phil won, I think, for like the 1,000th time or something that year. I'm not sure exactly what the number was on that one, but it was up there. Can't remember. I'm trying to remember which number it was. But he won the match play, and the consensus, at least, was that he should have retired after that. I don't agree. Now, he had some okay tournaments from there to the World Championship that year. Ooh. And I don't understand why that would, I mean, he made it to the finals of the World Championships. If you watch that match between him and Voltage, there is one game that decided how, because they were on the fence, man. That was an incredible match. And there's literally one game in there that turned everything. And it was so fine a line. But, I mean, you go back and watch that, and I mean, Phil still had the game and still won. You could tell. Some of his outshots, some of just the way he was playing, you could tell he wanted that. There was no fire lost in that man at all. And there's this one game during that match. Maybe it was the 7th, somewhere in there. Second break, somewhere in that area, where Voltage, you could tell he just amped it, just a little above Phil. But they were still dart to dart, but Voltage just had that little bit more, and it's what he needed to win. Why am I going so far right? And then it's whatever. It's going to be one of those mornings. But that's an iconic match for me that I love. Like, I've watched it more than once, and it's one that I like. And I'm sorry, Wayne, as much as I do like you, and I'm going to get a set of your darts and review them, keep saying that, but maybe I'll do that today. Because I like, you're one of the funnier commentators, and I've seen some of your matches, and it cracks me up just who you are in darts, and we need that. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. That's one of my favorite. There's a match between Bobbie George and Eric Bristow. I think it was for a world title. It might have been Bristow's first. I don't remember exactly what they were playing for. I saw part of it last night when I was on YouTube and it came out. I was like, oh man, I gotta watch this. And Bobbie's in his black and gold shirt, his long hair, and he's just doing his drama through the match. And Eric, of course, that steely-eyed, I'm gonna cut your nuts off look. And it was fun to watch that again and just see that. And I mean, that's an iconic one I could watch more than once. And some that I have found that I really enjoy watching just for the historical part of it. Got it. Well, oh no, I missed. Damn. Is the Fallon Schrock matches from this past year. Went back and watched those again with Dylan. And they're super fun to watch. And it's not just because the girl won, but just to see the crowd and really just the emotions that went into those matches were a ton of fun to watch. If you haven't seen those, if you haven't seen this past year's World Championships, you're new to darts and you've gone this long into this particular video, or you're just catching into at this point, go back and watch this past year. Really a fun tournament. Really, really fun tournament. Of course, Peter wins. I think Gerwin gave up. As soon as he knew he was playing Peter, I think I think in the back of his mind, he wanted Peter to win so much that he kind of gave up a little in the back of his mind. That's my assumption. But you can kind of see it. You know that that Michael was super happy that Peter did win it, especially over Gerwin. I think everybody was happy that Gerwin didn't make it to the finals against. That would have been really interesting. I'm okay with Gerwin winning it. I'd like to see Peter win it again this year and then Gerwin win it. That's just me. What's my time look like? Okay. Something we're going to talk about Monday. Ooh, Monday's a holiday. Yeah, we'll do this Monday. Monday's a holiday for us. Oh. Lost train of thought. Oh, something I want to talk about is with all the changes, the lack of tournaments being played, what's happened from a money standpoint, and who's going to be number one when we come back? Because if you look at the money, I was looking at it yesterday, if you look at the monies, will Peter be number one when we come back to darts? That's a whole other question because as the world's opening up, are we coming back to darts soon? Oh, I can't wait. I tell you, I can't wait. Let's want a different number, Matt. Oh. So these are all questions that we can talk about and chat about this next week. Excited about those. Something that I recorded yesterday and am super excited to be bringing to the darts community is called Darts on the Go. So give you guys a little, you're here with me now, give you a little insight to what's coming. I'm going to take darts out to the community, see if we can drum up some more love for this sport. So I've kind of put together a little rig to take darts out and about. That could have been cool, darts out and about. Maybe, who knows. But it's called Darts on the Go. And literally just going to take darts out around town and play darts. See if others want to join me. I'm sure some of my locations will be empty at this point in time. But yesterday I filmed the first episode. And it's really more or less kind of showing what it's going to be about and showing my equipment. I do go over the grand board stand in length as to, because that's part of my equipment I'm using, and everybody keeps asking how do you, like, what's that like when you set it up? So I did kind of a review into the intro to Darts on the Go, but it's going to be a weekly vlog, darts vlog. So see where that goes, right? All right, guys. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I have my morning meeting coming up for work. And I've got to appease my children with a little bit of my time and allow my wife to get some water because apparently she's completely dehydrated. Oh, Matt. So we'll kind of end it with that horrible throw right there. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, talking a little bit more darts. Once we get darts back on the air in a reasonable way, because what we have now is just no fun to watch. The Fallon Rock Phil Taylor match that happened last week, if you haven't watched that on YouTube, go find that. That was a fun one because there's interaction, there's talking. It's actually, this is how I would have envisioned the home darts to be through the PDC. Patty Power, I think it was Patty Power did it. And it was fun to watch. You got to see the people, they got to talk. I mean, it was fun. Go watch that, plus Fallon wins. But thanks for hanging out with Coffee and the Darts. This was episode 10, so thanks for hanging in there. And some more reviews come your way. And, of course, we're going to be starting to do darts on the go and taking darts to the communities. And we'll see how it works with masks and all, since we have to do that right now. But maybe, just maybe, we can bring some new fans into the mix, some new lovers of darts, as well as bring darts to the community and get them to understand that if they would just think like all of us darts players, the world would be much better. Thanks for watching this episode of Coffee and Darts here on Atomic Darts. I'm the host, Matthew. Don't forget to subscribe. There's my bag again. Like and share. And oh, by the way, I do have a Patreon account. I set it up once prior. Wasn't running it properly. Didn't quite understand how it all functioned. Now I got it. Did some research. So I set up a new Patreon account. Pretty low entry kind of things for you to be a patron and get some stuff from us. Some discounts at atomicdarts.com and opportunity to win some of the stuff that I'm reviewing. I'd like to get it out of here and send it to you. So head on over to Patreon. There'll be a link down below here shortly. Just look up Atomic Darts. You'll find us. And you're welcome to help support. Would be much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday. I should say soon, but I'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. See you guys.